All right, hey folks, we are up and running. Let me check my volume here real quick. Make sure I'm coming through. Hey folks, we are up and running. Let me check my. Yep, sounds like I'm pretty good. All right, let's do that there. Okay, cool. So, hey, my name's Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online. I've been focusing my attention on building. Background's weird. I've been designing for 5e here for the past number of years, but I have yet to publish any adventures for 5e, or any published adventures, other than some work that I did for Inkwell Games and their index card adventures. So I'm correcting that by building out an adventure here for Eberron. It's called Crystals of Mabar. It's for 3 to 5, 3 to 4 characters, level 7 to 8. And let's get this out of the way here. I just posted on the on my at Twitter account. If you are on the X Twitter account, my name is at Phil Kearney. You can follow me there if you want to get notifications when I'm live in the future and stuff like that. A big shout out to the Reddit community for Eberron. Great place to gather information. And if you're interested, you can like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications when I am live in the future. Here is a full playlist. Don't let the numbers intimidate you, folks. You can just pick anywhere, and I'm just talking shop and painting and making stuff, and you can pick up some ideas about things for yourself if you want. I made this book cover around episode 40 of this playlist, so you can check that out. Otherwise, it's stacked full of token and map art. Once we finish the editing for the text, we'll be dropping that into format and then carving out spaces for us to have illustrations, and we'll drop those in just like we did for the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration book that I had created here for the past year and a half here in the morning on streams. Now it's time for Eberron. So we're going to pick up where we left off from episode 218, and we're going to continue adding, coloring, and embellishing the art assets. Excuse me, that we have here inside of this underground facility. For those that are already indoctrinated, you know this stuff, but for the folks that are new here, this is in the Carnwood. It's underground. It's an undead research facility. Things are obviously going wrong. So it used to be nice and clean everywhere like this, but it's been warped over time. So this is a tunnel that leads to the surface. It's flooded with rainwater right now that's been corroding through the stone and then bleeding into the space. And so this is a flooded area. Here, let's get rid of the grid real quick. Here's the flooded murk water that's corroding through. This is the entryway. This is an elevator that's broken, so now it's just a giant open hole that is emitting this this necrotic fog that's emanating from a nexus zone that is connected to Mabar. This ritual in this pit here is creating. Here, I'll show you real quick since we're talking about it. Book cover. There you go. So here is a disturbing, like, crystallized pod thing that we're seeing here. Is the center of the nexus that is being created here, which is being used to generate the manifest zone to Mabar, which is the Eberron plane of undeath, darkness, and things that go bump in the dark. We're showing here adventurers finding their way down into the dungeon. Of course, that's just a symbolic approach. We have a full 14-room dungeon here. The corroded region this is a flooded area, which is part of the corroded region that is full of necrotic fog that eats away at the living life and the forest above, turning it into a necrotic swamp that dead things just spontaneously get up and start walking around on their own free will. There's an artifact called the Eye of Mabar, which was created from substance in the plane of Mabar, brought here that can be used with a ritual to create and stabilize a manifest zone that co-terminates Mabar with the material plane, which basically acts as a gateway or an open door between the plane of death and here, which is the source of energy used to perform necromantic experiments that got Karnath to where they are today. A little dark secret that's been tucked away in Ader Academy that a disenfranchised, now shamed and retired military general has taken upon himself to gather the resources, artifact, and ritual necessary to power this place up to start creating basically a necromancy lab and production facility. The Nexus is here. The necrotic effect of it is rotting out the environment around it. There are these air turbines that are magically or by foot pumped that create a wind vane that push the fog away so that you can have a clean air environment inside of this space so that you can effectively sleep in this area without poisoning yourself while you're asleep. These bunker doors are used to seal off different regions of the facility, and you can see here we have an air turbine set up here that is basically creating a wind wall effect that keeps the fog at bay. There's a spoiler alert. There's a secret passage here that leads up to a cemetery that we did the map for back around, I want to say episode 116. You can go check that out, but this is basically a hidden passage that leads to that cemetery where fog can rise and leak out of. This is the major source, though, here, sneaking along here, out of these veins here. The water line here is, these cracks are below water line, so you can't have fog seep out through here, but water is seeping in from the ongoing rains. It's the rainy season. And so the only path for the fog to escape is either through the cemetery I showed up there, or through all these cracks and fissures in the stone to this elevator shaft that is just basically a 20-foot gap that leads up. So it's just like got this chimney of thick necrotic smoke that's rising up. This is a circling elevator that leads up to the top side entrance. This flooded tunnel has a blast door here where you can see this is the... this needs some work still, but I'm not ready to work on it yet. But this is the gatehouse that leads down. Here, I'll move this out of the way. Open that up, please. Thank you. You can see here, this is like a murder hole grating that you can look down and dump oil on people or whatever. If the passage wasn't flooded, it could potentially be sieged. So you can see here, this is where the grating is in this space, and then we'll have like lines that like take you from like here to there, like little pop lines that show this is where it is. Like this is going to be a stairwell that connects to here. This is going to be a stairwell that connects to here, and there's going to be blast doors here, and here, here, and here. We just got to build that out, but that's not my specific task right now. Right now, we are colorizing the rest of the meager stuff that's in the environment, like tables and rucksacks and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to get back to work on right now. That's like a super quick crash course. Print map breakdown. Don't need that right now. Grid is useful. But not really needed right now either. Let's see. I feel this is off. There's something askew. I don't have to worry about it right now, but there's something definitely askew. I'm going to have to be careful about breaking this down once I actually export these assets. Lab. Here we are. Tables. Bags. There. Let's get back to work. So I got my timer going. I've got about maybe about 80 minutes this morning for me to continue working on this. I'm gonna hit save real quick. And so we're here Monday through Friday working on this particular map in the mornings, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, including today, at lunchtime, which will be in about 7 hours. Jesus, is that true? Yeah. Realistically, it'll probably be in about 7 hours. I'll be back on to continue working on martial powers, either cleaning up and developing character options or working the DM side of it. We're gonna have a playtest starting. Currently, the poll in Discord has Saturday mornings in the lead, and so whatever day it is that I'm going to be playtesting, I won't be streaming any longer. So if it ends up being Saturday, then I won't be having my Saturday morning work stream. But it could be Monday or Wednesday. Monday, Thursday, or Saturday are the three options. And if you're interested and you've seen the Martial Power System, then we currently have a. Here's the Discord community link to access my Patreon. You can access my Discord community through my Patreon. You do not have to be a paying member to access the community. I'd love to have you. But here's the active link currently. This should be good through Friday, updated every Friday. And we currently have a poll going on to see which day of the week it is that we're going to run the playtest. It'll be around 3 or 4-ish hours. I'll be DMing it. We are starting at 3rd level, and then every month we're going to skip 2 levels. So it'll go from 3 to 5 to 7 to 9, and then that'll be all the testing I'll really need. I've already had an opportunity to run this stuff with my home table at high levels over the past year, and I'm really pleased with how it feels at high levels, but I wanted to make sure that it's fun at low levels as well. And on my server now is the playtest that Daryl Drunken Yoda had ran as a DM for us, Dungeoneers pack, and a bunch of the team. Hold on real quick. I want to clean this up just a touch here. And I had the chance to play a Battle Master using the Martial Power System, and by God, was that fun. I always had something to do. I was giving up action economy to have utility. That felt amazing. I really felt I contributed every single round. I had enough budget in my list of powers to be a dwarf, and I was playing a dwarf, so I had enough budget in my in my list of powers to be able to be a trap springer for the team. We didn't have a rogue, but there's enough powers in the book that allow you to basically fake being a rogue, kind of like how you can take a bunch of strike powers to fake being a paladin smite. Yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff in there, and it worked incredibly well. So I am thrilled, and I'm hoping that other people find as much value and as much fun as I had. I have system mastery of it, so that's one of the tests that we need to do, is how easy is it for folks to grok it, how much do they want to pull the levers on the different mechanics. It being a simple fighter, or like being a simple barbarian with just a stack of extra feats, is as viable a solution as would be a heavily complicated high resource management mechanical build. They're both viable, and I don't know how much people are going to be interested in pulling levers, or how much are they just going to have consistent performance. Let's go with bucket, and it doesn't matter to me really. It's all those options are fine. I just want hopefully there'll be a mix of simplicity and complexity that people are wanting to lean into. Gatehouse, going to close that up for now. Bucket, reference, and bucket. Let's go. I think we should have a bucket laying around here somewhere. There it is. Don't have a handle. I could have a handle. I don't have to have a handle. This thing covers the table. Just about. Any more buckets? Yes, here's another bucket. Maybe I'll put some crystals in there. They put them in the bucket. All right, so table is good. Bucket is good. The sacks of crystal is good. Let's go with table dressing. Let's see, where can we find? Hey Ty, how you doing, my guy? Whew. Okay, my guy. OT helps sack the cash away, man. Diaper money. We have some indications of paper here. Tyler, make sure you get your vote in on the Discord, because currently it's I don't know if you voted for Monday yet or not. You know, I know you were saying that you were interested in Monday, and I'm fine with that, but it has to be the majority. And currently, Saturday is in the lead. And if it comes down to a tie, it's going to get punted back to my Patreons to decide which one to go with. So if it ends up being a tie between Monday and Saturday, you can just chip in $1 to put in a vote real quick to get yourself locked down for Monday, if it gets punted to the Patreon. Bucket should be on the bottom, which means table should be on the top. And ope. There we go. Let's go find more. There we are. More paper. I spy with my eyes something that is text. So, hey, right on, man. Well, don't get yourself in trouble over it. But I mean, hey, everyone's got a lunch, right? Here, I think we have some. Yep, there's some paper over here. That all feels pretty good. Cool. All right, next up, let's go find a cauldron or something. Don't think we need that reference piece anymore, so let's there we go. Reduce our array. Let's grab that and pull that one over here. Grab that. It's the same one. Get out of here, scallywag. Yeah, okay, that's realistic. Alright, I'll leave that up there. Cool. And drop down into here. Let's see. What's some cool bobs and bibs that we can pick up in here? Like that. Like that. Table dressing. Hey, what's up? Luckily, since I'm civilizing the cafe to make sure. Right on, man. I use my electronic devices to keep myself entertained. Hey, wow, holy shit, what a great policy. Right on. I once used to work at a microchip factory, and my job was to my primary duty at the time, because we'd rotate, but at the time, my primary duty was to load silicon wafers into a furnace that would atomize gold and distribute it like waft it across the silicon plate so that it would cling to it, so it would condense like water. It would condense onto the silicon wafers to increase its conductivity. So it'd be like an atom thick layer of gold that would basically diffuse across the layers of these carbon wafers. And the wafers were about the size of my head, and there'd be 20 on a pallet, and each pallet was made of quartz crystal, and so you'd have 20 on a pallet, and you'd feed 17 pallets into a machine, and each wafer was worth $10,000. So it was $200,000 per quartz pallet, and there was 17 of them. So it was like $3.4 million that I'd be loading into the furnace at a time, and it would cook for 17 hours. And there'd be 8 furnaces running at a time. So I'd have these sequences where I'd stack in and stack off all these wafers, and then there'd be huge hang time in between them. If I staggered all of them, I could keep myself moving all day, but I didn't control the behavior of the people ahead of me because there was 3 shifts that were constantly running. So occasionally I'd be behind somebody that liked to stack up all the furnaces at the same time so they could all run off and bullshit or do whatever. But you couldn't really leave the facility, and you had to stay at your station, and I didn't have enough seniority to throw weight around, so I ended up falling asleep because I didn't have anything to do for 5 hours. And that was my mistake. So I ended up getting let go when they did they'd have seasonal layoffs, basically shut down a facility for like a 4-month stretch, and then hire everyone back when they got back up into productivity again. And so I lost my job, and then was not invited back at a later time. I was not well suited to that job at the time, but it was the best paying job I had ever had in my early 20s. This was like year 2000-ish. I was getting paid $26 an hour, which is like $50 an hour right now to basically pump silicon into a furnace. Oh God, that was a cool job, but it was ill-fated, but it was a cool experience at the time. So I reveled at the opportunity to explore, running around in a bunny suit, and it was funny. The amount of strippers that worked there was ridiculous. It was odd shift. I mean, it was a low impact odd shift job. So you'd have strippers that were wearing bunny suits, and then they'd go work at night. Fun stuff. Funny world. Funny world. Let's see. Where do I want to be? Okay. Let's go with metal pans here. No, let's do this color. Is that the right? Yeah, it feels like the right color. Let's do that. That blew my mind at the time. Like, that's really clever. Chicks making bank, man, I tell you. I'm going to conceal the tables for now, so I can see precisely what I'm doing, because this gray tone and that off wood color are almost identical to my colorblind eyes. I was working 2 jobs at the time too, but I was working at a restaurant and then the factory. So I was working 13 out of 14 days. No. At that time, I was working at a call center. That's right. I was doing political fundraising phone calls. This was in Phoenix, Arizona at the time. fun group of people. They partied pretty hard. It was really fun to be around. And it was just down the street from where I live too, so I'd hop on my bike and get some leg work in the morning, run a 10-hour shift, and then bike on home and hang with the gal. Good time, good life, good young life. Working those two jobs basically obliterated our student loan within like 8 months. It was ridiculous. The amount of money we were able to pump into our debt was insane. Very rewarding. It was totally worth it. It was worth burning both ends of the candle for a while to be able to get us out from underneath that. Yeah, metal. That's right. This is the proper way to go. Okay, I know what to do there. Let's do that. Burp, burp, burp. Yeah, we can fill this in and then paint over it. Good. Oop. That is all sorted out. That feels good. Don't ask me what some of these things are. I have no idea. Those all feel good. That feels cool. That feels good. Next thing I want to do is, let's see, let's drop the table back in. Oh yeah. I need okay, I need a darker woodish affair. Like, that'll do. That will do. Oh wait, nope, that's not the right one. Let's go. I'm gonna hit the save button because something told me to. No, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. That does appear to be a proper course of action. I'm gonna replace this one with that. Ty, it sounds like you got yourself a good life built, man. Happy for you. Interesting power surge going through. I want to start working glass on all these things. Like the rest of this stuff, I think you can pretty much be. Nope, wait. Alchemical malarkey. I am almost convinced to buy Sly Flourish's Tome of Foes. I am a fan of Mike Shea's Sly Flourish, lazy DM. I like listening to his stream on YouTube, and yeah, I'm almost convinced to look. I'm not much of a DM to go looking for monster content, because I'm pretty good at building monsters, but I'm interested in seeing how his system works, because he's basically templated the entire monster development process, and I think that would curve well into what I've done with martial powers for monsters and NPCs. So I want to see how that might curve into and complement what he's built. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, glassware. So I need to figure out how do I want to do glassware. I don't think I have. Oh, I just locked up. I'm gonna close that cover out. And that's saving. Yeah, my computer's completely locked up right now. There we go. So I'm going to close that out. Thank you. Now I can reopen it. And let's go to 1800s chemistry glass. Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, this'll do. All right, let's go up to reference. Whew, man, I've got some poison coursing through me right now, man. I can feel it. That is a nasty flow. I've been purging toxins out of my system here. I have no idea why. My body's just, I think, ready to get rid of it. But I've been feeling a purging going through my chemistry for the past 7-8 days. I guess like the last week or so would be a better way of expressing that. 7 o'clock now? Holy crap, we're doing great. How's my timer coming along? Do I have a timer going? Yeah. So still got about 40 some odd minutes. Let's drop down and grab some of this bobble stuff. This seems like an interesting color. I tell you what, it makes me tired as hell. Too dark. That's just grayscale. Whole thing grayscale? Not specifically, not completely. There we go. Mildly. The most mild of blue. That is what I was hoping for. Something, yeah, something that's a little bit contrasty, but not overly done. So hey, the timey timer. Thank you. Keep it going. Nice. Where is my other? There we go. Let's do that. Bobs and bibs. There we go. Yeah, we're looking good here. Plates. Here we go. Yeah, do that again. Wrong layer. Whatever, dude. Merge down. That feels pretty good. Yeah, feels pretty good. What else do I need? I'm gonna need to sit saved here before something weird happens. That's for sure. Nope, that's good. I like how that stuff is sitting. Let's go find my crystals. There you are. Yeah. Bring that in. Just carelessly strew some crystals laying about on the table here. Ooh, plates. I need... That's right. Plate. There we go. Chip, chop, chiri, chiru, chirum. Where my plates go? Yeah, I think that's good enough. Let that be. What? If I ever nerded out, the reason I nerded out is because I'm blind, so I wasn't able to do the sports ball things that my father wanted me to do. But if I had, I probably would have joined the Navy to be a jet fighter pilot. My dad was. Football and baseball and basketball, yeah, I'm certain of it. I would have done all those things. I got into powerlifting for a while when I was younger because it was a sport I didn't need to see. All I had to be able to do was grab and lift things. That was pretty easy for me to do. And I tried lineman in football for a while, but that actually did require a lot of visual acuity to be able to pick up on where I needed to target things. So that went astray. But yeah, an alternate fill was definitely into all the things. This wasn't my fate. Yeah. Before I knew I wasn't capable of doing it, I wanted to launch myself off of aircraft carriers. That's what my father. That's what my father was in Vietnam during that era. That's what my father. He enlisted instead of being drafted. He figured I may as well, if I'm going to join, I may as well choose what I get to do. So he went into the Navy, and it turned out that he had an aptitude for flying planes. So they had him on an aircraft carrier, and he, like a week before he graduated, he got an intense ear infection, and it ended up blowing out one of his eardrums. So as a result of that, if he pulled more than 4G, he would start blacking out. And when you get launched off an aircraft carrier, you're pulling about 16G. So he couldn't be a fighter pilot anymore for the Navy. So they offered him the option between being a helicopter rescue pilot, basically picking up people out of the ocean off of an aircraft carrier, and so basically it was like, no, I don't want to do that. If I'm going to be on an aircraft carrier, I'm just going to lament not being able to be a fighter pilot anymore. So he opted against that, and so like, well, if you don't want to do that, what do you want to do? And he volunteered to be a hovercraft pilot because he didn't think he could be killed. His words, I couldn't be killed, so I figured I would take a job that had a 90% chance of death, because at least somebody else wouldn't be killed if I did it. And their response was, "You're fucking insane. Access denied." So instead, he went into military intelligence and started running in Puerto Rico a code room where you get like Morse code signals translated from I guess it was Navajo, and that they were using for relaying code signals during Vietnam, and that was a great twist of fate because that's where he met my mom. There you go. But yeah, at the time when I was young, I aspired to be like my dad, so I wanted to be a fighter pilot. I think he knew well aware before I did, but that I would never be able to do that. But he never said anything about it. So thanks, Dad, for not shutting down the dream. I tried to join the military anyway because honestly, when I was getting out of high school, I really had no idea what the hell I was doing with my life. And I figured the military would give me direction and at least some structure and some skills to be able to, get free college if I wanted with GI Bill and stuff like that. Alas, because of my vision, I couldn't qualify for any of the branches at any level because every one of them was required to be able to shoot stuff. And I am not to be trusted with a gun. I would... when the apocalypse come, I will be carrying a riot shield and a machete. And my gal and friends will have shotguns and sniper rifles behind me. So I'll hold the line and meat hook people while they're taking out anything that's further away. Because that is the skill set that I have. Alas, earwax. Let's see, what do I want? Let's go with some... I got oil in my eye. Yeah. This is the right thing to do. Here. Text. I just didn't know. Yeah. He was a monster. My dad was a monster. I love that man. I had a very complicated relationship with him, as one would expect. I think I was handed to him as a large dose of humility from God. But I couldn't do any of the things that he thought that his son would be able to do. It's a harsh wake-up call for him. But yeah, he drove me. He drove me hard. Feels pretty good. And let's see. I actually want to fill that in. These metal bits. I need to design the hook glaive that the soldiers use in here as well. Let's do this. Not too long ago, he was he died recently of a brain tumor. But before that happened, he was on the golf course, and apparently his appendix exploded. So he took a knee, finished his golf set, went a couple of days. He's like, I feel horrible. I'm gonna go see the doctor. It's like, yeah, your appendix has been shredded. We don't know how you're standing. The man is a beast. Just destruction. I love that old man. gonna have to take my appendix out. I'll be down for a few days. I'll let you know how it goes. Like, are you fucking kidding me? So awesome. Yeah, he was ridiculously powerful. We had horses when I was a little kid, and when I was 5, yeah, I was 5 at the time. We had just gotten a new pony, and for whatever reason, I was told to hang on to it to make sure. It was a 700-pound pony, and I was a 5-year-old, like 40 pounds, and it's like, hold on to him, make sure that nothing happens. I don't know what the rationale behind that was, but it got away from me, of course, and it trotted over to join the other horses. And horses they're herd animals. So when you introduce a new animal into the herd, they view it as a potential hostile source or a potential source of disease. And we had gotten the pony because it was a Shetland, so it was small, but still heavy as fuck. And but it was. It had been neglected, so we picked it up. Well, my dad and mom picked it up basically as a rescue. And since we had a ranch, this was in Kansas. Since we had a ranch, they had the space for it, and they wanted something small that I could enjoy, because I wasn't capable of riding on the larger horses. I was too young, so they decided to pick this thing up, and it got away from me, and it went to join the other horses, and that's when the kicking started. So they traumatized the hell out of me. They were kicking it to death, and I started screaming, and my mom shouted for my dad, and I've never seen a man move that fast. Each stride had to have been 8 feet. It was insane how fast he moved. Flew there, jumped over the high fence, punched a quarter horse in the fucking jaw, and knocked it down. That man is made of power. That was amazing. Yeah, I don't need leather there. Yeah, punch that horse down to get it off of the pony. And goddamn, that just terrified me. Yeah, he was impressive. He was an impressive man. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. They get they have their rage. They have their source of rage that empowers them, apparently. But yeah, what a monster. He was one of those people that didn't need to really raise their voice because they recognized the amount of violence that could be unleashed if necessary, and never really needed to. He was so helpless around me because I would just stumble into the worst shit. I was like the ultimate foil to his immortality. It's like, goddamn, my son. Some bandages here. All right, so not a lot of bobs and bibs around the rooms, but it's pretty Spartan around here. That's okay. Let's see. Next thing I need to do. All jokes aside, yeah, he was pretty cool. I did. It was a complicated relationship. But since he's passed away, I've had an opportunity to get to know him in ways I did not expect to be able to. So, 20 minutes to go. So I have relished the time I've had with him since his passing. Training room is done. There we go. And what is this all about? Oh. Stuff and things. Training done. Officer quarters. There we go. Furniture. BW. Cool. Right. I'm doing it right. I'm doing it right. Look at that. Doing it okay. We're going to make the furniture here, and then we're going to make it all crusty with crystals. Make it all gross, icky. Is that what it's supposed to look like? Is that right? Where did my reference go? Yeah. Okay, we're good. Meow. There. He had difficulty expressing love. Shocker. Kid born in the 50s with 8 siblings and parents worked 2 jobs to keep them all alive. He had closeness issues because he didn't have a lot of close in his life either. He was basically he only had one older sister, so him and his older sister basically took care of all the younger kids like they were parents. Like his youngest brother was 15 years younger than him. It's like a completely different. It was like his dad away from being a dad, you know. As I understand it, anyway, you know, as it's been told to me by many siblings. So he had issues, closeness issues. Didn't really know. Like the only way he really knew how to apply love a lot of the time was just to put me under more pressure to perform better. But he was really struggling with how difficult it was for me to navigate, like literally to navigate reality, because I was still trying to figure out how to see. And I would get damaged a lot. And he knew that he was so often not there. that he tried to push into me self-reliance and self-preservation as fast as possible, because he knew there was absolutely nothing he would be able to do to help me when I got myself fucked up. So he tried to instill some common sense into me that way, but I knew he loved me. It was just really difficult growing up. But how I overcame the challenges I had in my life, the decisions that I made, the strategies that I created for myself, the solutions I was able to find, for me to be able to try to be on an even foot with other people, I knew that was something he was proud of. And most of it, I mean, I hate him for it, but I know that most of my ability to figure things out, to look at things differently, to absorb what is expected and find ways to navigate within expected space but still be able to accommodate myself, those are all skills that I acquired because of him. So I honor him for that. I don't know if I'd ever want to raise a child that way, but I recognize the strength that it gave me. And so for that, I honor him. Hey, text. Yeah. He had the expectations to be this whole... Yeah, yeah. And all of that was under a blanket of men don't... Yeah, very much so. Yep, he had a lot of trauma that he was going through that he basically just had to... You know, no one gave a shit. He was on his own to figure it out. And he did. I am very much a believer of you are born into a family that is specifically designed to push and challenge you. Why am I not seeing? Undo. Ungroup. There we go. Okay, cool. Back on track. Officers' quarters. Table. Yeah, man. It was a trip. Let's go grab that there, that there. Not a lot on this table, Chief. What do you got going on? Not much. Oh, I should probably put a chair in here, huh? Probably needs a chair. Let's find a piece of furniture. Living quarters. B-dub. Furniture. Perfect. Bump, bump, bump. Right on, man. That hasn't been the easiest for me. I live. Oh, that was under a blanket ocean. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the compliment. I know things with your mom and dad haven't been easiest for me. Sure, you know, live 15 minutes away and haven't seen my dad in months. That's how parents are, man. It's just time passes and I'm busy trying, yeah. Hey, that sounds awesome. I hope that's fun to build. Those kind of folks, man, they can't really say much, but they just love watching you go from afar. There we go. Let's grab that crystal batch, drop back down into the black. Rebel scum. Don't really use this room. I mean, Solzu doesn't have a chance to use this room at all anymore. He's stuck inside the ritual, getting killed slowly by his bitch of an assistant. I love how horrible Karen is. That's so funny. And we also need to build a safe. We just need a safe. So let's go. Yeah, let's just take a block like this. Grab our grid. There. This is the animated safe. You guys didn't have a chance to feck around with it just because you didn't get over to it, but it's just a simple construct that animates when somebody incorrectly, when somebody attempts to pick the lock or provides the wrong combination to open it. It animates and attacks, and then tries to go find Silzu to basically run away. So if the team tries to pop it open, it's basically going to try to run that way, and then yeah, this way, and then it'll try to go to it'll literally try to go to the ritual where Solzu's at here. So you gotta shut that safe down. It has the teleportation crystals. It also has a spell book and I think a magic wand in it. So it's a decent thing to loot if you can crack it open. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I want to make it a separate layer. There. Then we'll make a token for the... It'll basically be a safe with like crab legs and claws and stuff. It'll be fun. I've apparently got something for crabs because you know, like Vokath's mega ship is basically a crab. It's like a lobster crab sort of thing. That's been a lot of fun to build. It's a lot of fucking work, and I'm going way overboard with it. And it'll be yet another thing I'll never recuperate cost for. But you do what we must because we have to. You know, you do what we must because we can. What's up? Plot of a singularity to open up. Nice. One at dead arms. The worst hug you could ever hope for. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So far, so good. So what? Where are we at? 7:50. Got a minute left for my day. Let's there's my safe for now. Let's take some crystals and just keep dumping them on the beds and stuff. Just dumping some gross on here. What's up? Yeah, right on, man. Happy to be there with you. All right, I'm just gonna dump some crystals on these beds real quick just to cap them off, and then I'm gonna bounce out of here for the day. Oh, I'm gonna be back around at lunchtime. That'll be in about probably almost 8 o'clock here. Probably in about 5.5 hours. I say I want to be on like around 1:30 Seattle time, but I always end up being like around 2:30. So we'll see how my day flows. It's just whenever I can carve out some space and you know, get ahead of my workflow for the day to be able to then break away and jump online again. But I will be back this afternoon to continue tinkering around with martial powers. I don't think I need maybe I'm not 100% sure on what I'm building right now. So we'll see what the episode. We'll see where the muse takes us. Basically, I have no idea what's supposed to be next. So we'll see. Almost there. Stay on target. I love how well this shape fits things together. That's like that feels pretty good. There. And yeah, okay, cool. So that's where we're at right now for this. And so when we come back next time, I still have some furniture to resolve up here in the Nexus Zone and in the containment room, and then we can build the safe token, and then I have some fixing I need to do on this door frame here, and then we'll be done with this, and then we can move on to doing little vignettes on the in the forest and in the manifest zone up top in the surface in the mook, in the muck, in the goop, mookie gup moop gup mook goop mup. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. I'm gonna bounce out of here. I'll be back in about 6 hours, something like that, 6 hours plus. And I hope you have a great day. I'll see everybody when I get to. Thanks a lot.